people, welcome to the Rays of Sunshine with Liz, and I hope that you guys are doing well and taking very good care of yourselves during this corona pandemic. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to do yet another painting, and this time it's a different technique. It's just painting but on a different material. It's called a watercolor paper. So we are going to use only watercolors on watercolor paper. It's a very easy technique, easier than the other one I showed you on the other video. But if you have not watched that video, here is the link, here or here. So stick around and I hope that you're going to learn something. Let's get busy during this quarantine period, right? Also, if you're new here, karibu sana. This is where we have fun and spread the sunshine. Enjoy. Okay, so what do we have here? We have an already sketched rhino, and it is sketched on a watercolor paper. This is not the normal paper. It's a different type of paper called watercolor paper. So you'll need watercolors, that is watercolor paints, and you'll need a set of brushes, water, and a palette, and a rag to dry your brushes on. Simple. And let's get straight into the painting. Something to note, guys, before we start the painting: always start painting from the opposite side to the hand that is painting. This is for the simple reason that as you paint, for instance, using your right hand, your hand will lie on the paper on the right side. So you'll start painting from the left side of the paper, because if you start painting from the right side, your paint will be smudged by your hand as you work towards the left side. So always work from the opposite side of your working hand. I hope that makes sense. Now, the secret behind painting on watercolor paper is using less paint and more water. So watercolor paper tends to, like sip in the water, or the paint rather, and smudge it. So you just need to tap a little pigment on the paper and the color itself will smudge on the paper, creating a gradient. So you don't need a lot of paint when using a watercolor paper. And now as you paint, you start with the dark areas and then you tint out, or you fade it out using water, or using a wet brush. Simple, right? It's simpler than the other one, I can tell you. Try it out and you let me know in the comment section down below. For the colors that I'm using on the rhino skin is black, different shades of brown, that is dark brown to the light brown, a touch of yellow, that is yellow ochre, not the lemon yellow, and a bit of white, just a little bit of white. I know I'm speaking Greek to some of you, but don't feel the pressure. All these names of the colors are written on the color palettes, so you just need to read on them and apply. While painting, you'll probably notice that doing the tiny details takes more time and it's a bit more involving than doing the general painting of the body. So usually I like to start painting the general body, then later on come and do the tiny details of the composition. Guys, as you can tell, I'm turning my page in all kinds of positions and angles. That is very okay. So feel free to turn your page in whichever position or angle that makes you comfortable, depending on the part of the composition that you're working on. Just do you. Guys, remember that the parts of the composition where the shadow has fallen use a lot of dark colors. Like for instance, if I'm using black in this case, I'm going to use a lot of black on the areas where the shadow has fallen. So for this rhino, of course, the bottom part, that is the legs, uko chini, it's going to be dark because all the shadow has fallen there. So just take note of that. So now that I'm done with all the other parts, I'm going to go in with the details. And guys, with watercolor paper, you cannot like go very deep with the details, because I told you earlier, as soon as you put the pigment or the color on the paper, it smudges on its own. All right, it's the nature of the paper, so you can only do so much when it comes to putting details on the composition. Whoop whoop, here goes our rhino. So the next thing that we're going to do is add a background to the rhino. And for the background, you're going to use a flat brush. Flat brushes are the best for doing washes, so just take note of that. Usually guys, you're supposed to start with the background before you put the focal point of the composition, but I was trying to do something else, something different, that I think I just decided to do it in a totally different video, so look out for that. How to create backgrounds. So that is why I have done the background of this rhino much later on, but normally you start with the background and then you do the rhino. But it's still going to work, only that it's going to take me a bit longer, but it's still going to work. So now guys, I've already created the sky and the ground. Take note that the sky is darkest at the top while the ground is darkest at the bottom. So they all recede, or they all fade towards the horizon. Those are the simple, rules of art, in case you are not an artist or you haven't gone to an art school. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a little drama by adding some bushes. And for the bushes, I'm going to use dark green beneath, then light green as it goes up towards the space, or as it grows it becomes lighter. Then on top of it, I'm going to add yellow, and then much later on I'm going to add a splash of white just to create all the beauty in it. So yeah. Once the bushes are done, create a base of the bushes so that they don't look like they're hanging in the air, right? So use a darker pigment. You could use black or you could use brown. I would advise you use brown, or just avoid using black, because black is a very strong color. It might end up going to places or giving an impression that you didn't intend it to. So either use purple or dark brown. Okay, that is it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed, and thank you so much for staying around till this far. I hope you've learned something as well. And what else? Please, if you have liked this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, don't forget to share this video, leave a comment down below, and support my channel by subscribing. Thank you so much. Until next time, bye. Remember to create your own sunshine and don't stop shining.